everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the upcoming Marvel Legends Captain America 6-inch Nick Fury figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've been seeing with all the Marvel Legends for 2016. You've got the Build-A-Figure Giant Man logo up at the very top, then you've got the Legends Series logo, the Captain America logo down below, and the name of the character. You've got the black box, and because it's Captain America series, we've got blue highlights on the packaging. On the sides of the packaging, we have artwork for Nick Fury. And then on the back of the packaging, we have a look at the actual figure, a brief bio in multiple languages, and then down below, a look at all the figures in this wave. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the accessories. Now, first of all, the figure comes with the left arm for the Giant Man Civil War Build-A-Figure. And we'll be looking at the Giant Man figure in its own review probably tomorrow. This is the final figure in the wave that we're looking at. So we should be doing our review of the Build-A-Figure Giant Man from the Civil War movie tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. Now, besides the arm, we also get two alternate heads. So the figure comes with the Nick Fury, the standard comic book version, old white guy Nick Fury head. And then we get the Shield Stormtrooper type head. So this will make the figure nice for army builders if you want to build up a Shield team. And the paint on this is pretty good, though it looks like it's hard to tell if that's deliberate or scuff marks. It looks like there's maybe a little marbleization here on the silver on my helmet. You've got some black in here. So it looks a little sloppy to me here on the sides, but still for the most part it's pretty cool. You've got the yellow kind of metallic paint over the visor. It's a solid paint and everything, but definitely it basically makes the figure, when you put this head on, makes it look like a generic Shield soldier. So definitely army builder material there. Now, the second head that it comes with, besides the Nick Fury head and the Shield head, is Dirk Anger. So if you're not familiar with this character, he's kind of a parody character of Nick Fury that appeared in the Next Wave comics, a character created by Warren Ellis. So he's, again, just kind of a parody of Nick Fury. So it's pretty cool that they did something kind of obscure like this. Definitely looks like the character. He's got this little eyepiece that goes over his eye, and it's done with a green translucent plastic, and his hair is sculpted. He's got this little piece of hair that sticks up on the top of his head. So definitely like this head sculpt. Again, this is a very obscure, unique character, but it's kind of cool that they did something like that. The final accessory the figure comes with is just a pistol, and honestly, this pistol is not that great looking, mostly because of the paint applications. It's a very, basically no paint applications, but it's done in a very light gray color. So to me, if they had just done a darker gray color, it would have been better, even if they didn't give it paint detail. But definitely a very bright color of gray that they've done it. Sculpting on the gun's okay. I mean, it's a very thin looking gun pistol, but my main problem is just that it looks very, the shade of gray that they used on the plastic is just very light, and there's no paint detail at all on the weapon. And they do give him a working holster on his leg, so you can put that in there, and it fits pretty tight. Okay, so moving on to the figure itself. So it just wouldn't be a Marvel Legends wave if we didn't see our old friend, the Bucky Cap mold. We've seen this mold used many times in the line, such as with this Batroc figure, and it is basically the exact same figure. The arms, the legs, the feet, the hands, and the torso are all basically the same. Now, with the hands on this figure, we do have they've added these little pieces around the wrist for the gloves to give it some extra detail, which I think is nice. And then you've got these holsters. You've got the shoulder holster, you've got this belt around his waist, and then you've got this leg holster, and these are all separate pieces done with that kind of rubber material. Now, I haven't really looked to see if these are reused from other figures, especially like this leg holster looks like something the Punisher would have, but I, again, haven't checked to see if it is something reused from those figures. But I do like the washwork on these to give it that kind of dirt look to it It's not just clean white, so I definitely like that. I like the blue highlights around the belt buckle and the snaps on the pouches and everything. I think that looks really good. So I do like that. The gun on his chest holster is not removable, unfortunately. It's black. I wish they had painted the removable gun black, just like the one on his chest. It would have looked better, I think. But unfortunately, this one on his chest is not removable. He's got the Shield logos on his shoulders, and those are nicely done, nice and clean. And then the head sculpt, I think, is pretty nice. This is probably the nicest looking old white guy Nick Fury head sculpt that we've seen from either Hasbro or Toy Biz. I don't have the old Hasbro 2-packs, so I can't give you a comparison of those, but I do have the Toy Biz one. And even though I do like the Toy Biz head sculpt, I think this one is a bit nicer. I kind of like the fact that he doesn't have like a weird grin or like gritting his teeth or anything. Unfortunately, we don't get a cigar with the figure. I do like the overall look of the face. I like the 5 o'clock shadow. He's got the gray on the sides of the hair and then the brown on the top. And of course, he's got the eye patch. And the overall color scheme of the figure, I think, is more true to what we saw in the comics. Again, I don't have the Hasbro 2-packs, but like with this Toy Biz one, his outfit was more black, but this one is dark navy blue, which is what we actually see the Shield uniforms look like in the comic books. So this figure stands at just about 6.5 inches tall, and is basically the same height as all the other figures that use the Bucky cap mold. So just for some size comparisons, here's a look at some other Marvel Legend figures. So the old Toy Biz Von Stucker figure, Nick Fury's arch nemesis, and they're about the same height. Nick Fury is taller than the new Agent 13 figure. He's a little taller than the Agent Coulson figure. He's a bit taller than Wolverine, and the new Cap Wolf figure is a little bit taller. Finally, here's a comparison with other Nick Fury figures, and again, I apologize for not having the Nick Fury figure from that Toys R Us 2-pack, but here's again the Toy Biz Nick Fury and then the movie Sam Jackson Nick Fury, and you can see they're all about the same height. In case you were wondering if you could take the Sam Jackson Nick Fury head and stick it on this body, the answer is yes, it does fit on there. And you might be thinking, well, why would I want to do that? But if you follow the comics, you know that Nick Fury in the comics, they actually kind of brought the Sam Jackson Nick Fury into the regular Marvel universe by making him like his son or something. So, and he does wear the standard Shield uniform in the comics. So if you wanted to kind of create that version of Nick Fury, you can do that with the Sam Jackson Nick Fury head and this Shield body. Articulation on this figure is pretty good, and the same that we've seen with the other figures that use this mold. The head's on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and he can look right, and he's got good down movement and he's got good up movement with the head. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint, so you can get the arm out good. He's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double hinged elbow, so good bending at the elbow. He's got the swivel at the wrist, and he's also got the hinges on the hand, so he's got pretty good up and down movement with the hands. He does have an ab crunch joint, so he can crunch down pretty good, and he can look back. He can look back okay, but not too much. He's got a waist swivel. He's got the legs are attached with ball joints, so he can only do the splits about that much. He can get his leg forward pretty good, and he can do his leg back about that much. He has a thigh swivel. He's got the double jointed knee, so good bending at the knee, and then he has a boot cuff swivel, and then the hinges on the feet, so good up and down movement, and of course he does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. I know it reuses the Bucky cap mold that a lot of you like to complain is used way too often, but honestly, I think it works for this character. I like the head sculpt. I think it looks good. I like the alternate heads. Definitely like that we get a head for an obscure character like Dirk, and the Army Builder head is a nice touch as well. I think the figure is more accurate looking than the Toy Biz one as far as the colors and everything, and overall, I think this is probably, for this version of Nick Fury, is the nicest figure that we've gotten from either Hasbro or Toy Biz. So the figure with this wave is not yet out in the United States. It'll probably be out by the end of this month or early next month. It is out overseas in places like the Philippines, which is where I got my figures from. We'll have a full gallery of images up at marvelousnews.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.